welcome back. You're watching Overdrive. Let's talk about one of India's most iconic and niche bike makers. Yes, we are talking about Royal Enfield. Now, it created quite a stir when it launched the Royal Enfield Thunderbird 500 and showcased that at the Auto Expo earlier this year. Since then, we've been waiting to get our hands on the bike. Abhay finally managed to do so. He went on a long ride and here's his verdict.
The Thunderbird was the first Royal Enfield to break away from the typical bullet mold. The bike was quite a success for the Chennai-based manufacturer given its touring virtues, but was really lacking a comprehensive update. So now today what I have with me is the new Thunderbird 500, which the manufacturer will be launching shortly, and I'm here to ride it today.
The Thunderbird was originally launched more than a decade ago, but never really got any updates apart from unit construction, engine and sticker changes. The bike appealed to youngsters who wanted a cruiser, but the manufacturer never really promoted the Thunderbird as a motorcycle for long distances. This time, however, Royal Enfield is clear about the Thunderbird being a highway cruiser and say they have focused on making the motorcycle comfortable to ride over long distances.
There is something, a unique Indian thing called the Great Indian Highway, which is substantially different from highways anywhere else in the world. And so in the spirit of evolution, a motorcycle needed to be evolved to match the Great Indian Highway. And I'm sitting on one. As you know, we launched the Thunderbird 2002. It has 10 years of evolution under its belt, and it's finally figured out what does it mean to traverse the Great Indian Highway, get it right. And I think if you really look at the design, it's basically a simple way of thinking about the design is what are all the anxieties that you typically encounter on an Indian highway. And we've systematically gone after all the major anxieties so that if you go out for a leisurely ride, the bike and what you wear have taken care of all your anxieties so that you're singularly focused on the one reason why you're riding, which is the pleasure of riding and feeling this flow.
The styling of the Thunderbird 500 is not very different from the 350, but yes, there are a few distinctive changes which help you identify this one as the larger motorcycle. Up front, the bike now gets a projector headlamp, which is the first for a Royal Enfield. There's a larger fuel tank, a split seat, and at the rear, the bike now gets LED stoplights and a smaller pillion backrest.
The Thunderbird 500 is a radical departure from the traditional Bullet, especially with its projector headlamp, LED tail light and part digital dash, which gives this Royal Enfield a contemporary look. These changes may not appeal to the hardcore Bullet fan, but we believe this should help Royal Enfield expand its customer base. The rear view mirrors are a new design as well and look nice apart from being functional. The large fuel tank looks very much like the 350's tank, and despite being one of the biggest fuel tanks in the country, it does not look bulky. The centerpiece though is the matte black powder coated engine, which looks impressive and goes well with its polished fins.
The Thunderbird 500 uses the same engine that we've seen previously on the Royal Enfield Classic. It's got the same digital fuel injection along with a twin spark ignition. The only difference here is the matte black finish of the engine, which separates it from the other engines in the Royal Enfield family. It's got a matte black finish thanks to the power coating, along with the fins which get a machine look, but rest of the engine is exactly identical to the Classic 500.
We expect the Thunderbird 500's performance numbers to be similar as the Classic 500, since no mechanical changes have been made to the engine. But in feel, the Thunderbird is more relaxed. It does not have a sense of urgency as is the case with the Classic, but the Thunderbird has no trouble in crossing 120 km/h on the speedo. However, vibration from the engine tends to creep in at high speeds, and after riding it for a couple of hours, I felt the design of the seat could have been more comfortable.
Having ridden this motorcycle, I can safely tell you that the Thunderbird 500 is an improvement over the Thunderbird 350. It handles better, it looks better, and still maintains the charisma that Royal Enfields are known for. And I must tell you that this motorcycle is one more reason that I would want to hit the road again.